Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me for this gentle flow practice. I may be putting this up on YouTube later. YouTube is something that I never thought I would see myself doing until this pandemic hit. And wanted to put videos out for the community since we had been dispersed. And I have continued this project, or at least picked it back up in the more recent months. And I want to thank you guys for following me on this channel. And I want to thank you guys that are practicing online from home with Moonbeam Yoga. So this past week in my classes, I've been focused on the 8 limb path of yoga. We've just focused on the first step. I mentioned that this is mentioned in the Sri Bhagavad Gita as well as Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. This is the core philosophy, but is not all of the philosophy. But what I love about, this topic is it takes yoga to the next level. When Half Moon Yoga was in its last year operating as a business, I created this motto after a conversation with Allison. We were trying to figure out something new to kind of represent the studio. We started off with something like, I'm trying to remember, calm the mind, open the body, and create a peaceful spirit. It was changed later to Franklin's Heart Yoga. Later, it morphed into Franklin's Heart and Soul Yoga. And then we changed it to Drop In, Get Real, and Yoga Up. If you follow anyone right now who channels or who is an intuitive or a psychic or an astrologer, they're all talking about these new energies coming to this planet, this new evolution and ascension that we're moving towards on the planet, but also humanity at large. And when we're going through this ascension, we are receiving these new energies that are providing downloads. This matrix of energy that is held within consciousness itself is something that we all have availability to tap into, but we've either been so conditioned or so asleep or so in doubt or in a lack mentality that we don't think we have access to it. So as we continue to move through these energies, we're going to get more and more tapped in, and they're saying we need to level up. And I keep hearing this term level up, and it reminds me of what we had started at the studio. Drop in, meaning get out of your head and into your heart. And they're saying that the heart is really and truly the mind, separate than the brain, which I find pretty fascinating. But anyway, it's a way to drop back into our body, into our physical self, to be grounded. And then to get real is to not only learn this philosophy, but apply it, use it, live it, be it. And that's how we yoga up. That's how we work up the chain of the chakras. That's how we evolve as spiritual beings. And so that first one that we talked about was called Yamas, and Yama means control. Now, this is about self-restraint. It's about self-discipline. It's about self-control. And the 5 categories listed under that are sometimes referred to as the kind of yoga idea of the 10 commandments, because the first one you could kind of look at as do not kill, because it means non-violence, non-harm, but it also means non-injury. So the Americanized way of yoga has gotten so competitive and so physical that we have, forgotten the roots of yoga. So that's what I really tried to convey in my teaching, is that there's so much more than how you contort your body. It's really about the mind. It's really about tapping into your soul. So ahimsa, non-harming, non-violence, non-injury, is something that we want to practice for ourselves, but also when we interact with others, also through our thoughts, because there are certain things like psychic attacks that can happen when you're being judgmental and you are holding animosity. And you can send daggers to someone even through your eyes, through facial expressions. So we need to be cautious with that, cautious about how much negativity or toxicity we're sending out into the world. Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in the world. So the change happens within. And everything that we're seeking on the outside, whether it's happiness or value or peace, love, really, it stems from within. So, ahimsa, you can be kind, you can be compassionate, and you can be peaceful. The second one is satya. It means honesty and integrity, truthfulness. Basically, do not lie. So, when you're looking at this idea of living from integrity, it's, do we act the same, and are we the same personally, professionally, privately? Are we lining up to our truth? And are we practicing integrity, whether we're alone or whether we're with other people? When you look at the third one, Ashteya, it's do not steal, do not take what is not yours. And most of the time, we think that's the easiest one because we're not out, robbing anyone. But think about how sometimes we may rob people or ourselves of time and energy, resources, creativity, creative ideas. The fourth one is brahmacharya. This is about practicing moderation or practicing as much purity as possible. So we can take anything that provides pleasure or temporal happiness, and then we can want more and more and more and more. But then sometimes a lot of that can be damaging or addictive. So practicing moderation or practicing purity is about lining up to God's consciousness as much as possible. Okay, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one is a parigraha. A parigraha is being non-possessive, non-clinging, non-grasping. It also means non-attachment. This is probably the hardest one that I've had to learn as a yogi, as a human, as a woman. We constantly have to let things go. If we hold on to grievances and resentments and angers, it's literally like poison to our bodies. So why do we want to poison ourselves? We have to find a way to let it go. Otherwise, we're imprisoning ourselves and that person. What's the point? Cut the cord. This could also play in many different ways. Just think about when you have your child, and you want to breastfeed your child. Well, you eventually have to wean your child. You have to let that go. You have to start feeding them like solid food. And then, they may love their blanket or they may love their pacifier, but eventually you're teaching them, they have to let that go so they're not so dependent on it. And then we have to let them go when we have to have a babysitter for the first time, or when we send them off to the public school. And it happens again over and over when they become a teenager and break away from us and want to be with their peers, and break away from us to go off to college, and break away from us to get married or have their own children. It's a constant letting go. Last year, during 2020, I had to let go of my business, and that was my livelihood. I had to let go of my livelihood. I had to let go of my identity as an entrepreneur, as an owner, as a boss, as a leader. So what are you trying to master right now? What is showing up in your life right now? And it could be that it shows up in many of these categories. So we'll reflect on that. We'll be contemplative on this as we move through our practice. We're going to be doing a gentle flow, a little bit more of a kind of a Vini yoga practice, but I don't want to call it Vini yoga because It's like that, but it's not that. But it just gives you something to call it other than gentle flow, and gives you something to maybe research if you like this style, because you'll definitely love that style if you like this. I will meet you on the mat. We're going to start in a comfortable seat. Feel free to provide a cushion or folded blanket, pillow or bolster underneath your buttocks. Instead of sitting right in the middle, scoot towards the edge. This will give you a little pelvic tilt forward, which will honor the natural curve of the low back. It will bring an ease to your hips, allowing the knees to descend slightly downward. Let your hands rest on your lap. Prop your heart up. Shield your eyes. Remember, they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. So as you close your eyes, start to peer and gaze within. This will help us to withdraw away from the outer world and outer distractions. This will help us to be able to drop in to ourselves. Let's take this time to drop in. Practice some diaphragmatic breathing, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As you inhale and exhale through the nose, deepen the flow of your breath. Stretching out the inhale as well as the exhale. You may even notice being guided upward on the inhale. And you may notice you're being guided downward on the exhale. Follow this flow of energy. As you empty out your lungs, imagining that you're emptying out your mind. Letting go of any restless thoughts. Reducing any hyperactivity of the mind to produce a more calm and clear mindset. We're going to do a few breathing exercises, adding in a little bit of movement. So if you open up your eyes for a moment, we're going to turn the palms open. And it's going to be super simple. As we inhale, we're just going to bring both arms up. And as we exhale, we turn the palms down in front of the face and bring them down towards the lap. Inhale, the palms will open and they'll kind of circle up and back in towards yourself. And then exhale, the palms press down. We can close our eyes to continue. Use a light Ujjayi pranayama with this, constricting the back of the throat, creating that audible sound. Letting it sound like ocean waves. Let this hand gesture also mimic water coming up like a wave towards you, washing and cleansing you out as you press the hands down. 3 more. Last one. Hands resting lightly on the lap. Crack the eyelids open. Inhale, we're going to sweep the arms to the sides and up overhead. As we exhale, palms come together and move down the midline to the heart. And we're going to bow the head. Continue, inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Continue. Now relax the hands down to your lap again. Simple breathing exercises, adding in some movement. On the inhale, we're going to lift the left hand and cross it to the right shoulder. And as we exhale, we return. We'll alternate sides. On the next inhale, right hand will come up to the left shoulder, lightly tapping it, and exhale, release. Let's continue with eyes closed. One more to each side. Let this be a meditation in motion. So we can drop in, get real, and yoga up. Crack your eyelids open. Inhale, we're going to turn the head over to the right shoulder. Exhale to center. Inhale, turning the head to the left shoulder. Inhale to center. Continue with eyes closed. Last one. Feel free to open the eyes. We'll inhale, lower the left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhale to the top. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhaling up. Continue with eyes closed. Last one. Inhale, open the arms wide. Exhale, cross the left arm over the right. Inhale, Garudasana arms. Exhale, drop the elbows to the chest. Inhale, lift the arms skyward. Exhale, back towards the chest. Continue. Last one. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, Garudasana, right arm on the top. Loop and intertwine the arms more together. Lifting them on the next inhale. Dropping them into the chest on the exhale. And then moving with breath. Inhaling up. And exhale, release. Inhale, we'll lift the left arm. We'll walk the right hand over and curve. Continue to breathe. Filling up that left lung as you inhale. Empty in on the exhale. Let the breath help to refresh in your mind and body, to oxygenate your bloodstream. Inhale, let's come up. Exhale, take it to the other side. Chandrasana, crescent moon. Deep yogic breathing is key. That is the key for the alchemy to occur. That is our elixir. It's our calming agent. It's our fuel. And it's our life force. Inhale, rise up to the top. And exhale, clasp your hands. Bring them just behind your head. Inhale, lean back into your hands. Open your throat. Take a few deep breaths. exhale, release. Feel free to come off that prop and come to a seat on the floor. We're going to hold on to the shins. As we inhale, the shoulders roll back, the head and the heart lift. It's a little bit of a cat stretch. And then as you exhale, you round it out. Showed you from the front view, also show you from the side view. Inhale, exhale. Now continue. Inhale up. We'll transfer to hands and knees. When you transfer to hands and knees, we're going to work with the hips for a moment. Just make sure your feet don't touch. Sometimes my feet like to come together, and yours may as well. So separate the feet so they're parallel. The toes point towards the back of your mat, and your feet glue to the floor. You're trying to press down to the top portions of the ankles, even though they may not touch. Press equally through the palms, stacking the bones and joints through the arms. And notice when you really anchor down, your belly hugs in. We want that core support. And then shift the weight to the right leg. Inhale, lift the left knee up. And then exhale it down. Continue with your breath. Last one. And now we're going to strengthen the glutes on the same side. So pick up that left knee again, but this time it's going straight behind your back. And you're going to create the dorsiflexion through the ankle. The inhale will squeeze the glutes and pump the foot in the air. And then as you exhale, you release and the glutes will soften. Let's continue. One more. Continuing with the left side, stretch the left leg back behind you. Again, pressing through the entire sole of the foot. But as we exhale, we're going to contract the core, hugging the belly in, drawing the nose towards the knee. Inhale, head up, legs shoot straight back. Exhale, contract and curl in. This time, inhale, take the left leg back, but then step the left foot through between the hands. We're just going to rock back and forth. Super simple. If you need blocks below your hands, add it in when you're ready. If you want to take it deeper, you can go to half split, half Hanumanasana. Last one. Now press heavy through the front foot and the back shin. When you do that, your thighs, your hips, your pelvis will lift to higher ground. Reach the arms up overhead. As you exhale, hang the arms back. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hang back. Continue. Now release the hands down. Curl the back toes under. Pluck up that back knee. We're going to pulse here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. Continue. If you have blocks or if you have the additional flexibility, you can always straighten the front leg on the inhale, and the exhale will re-lunge the front knee. Yogi's choice. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bend. All right, sink the back knee. Take your left knee back, tabletop position. Reground. Now we'll take that to the right side, starting with the right knee lifting up and out. Exhale, descending down. Continue. Now for the glutes. Inhale, right knee goes back. Dorsiflexion in the ankle. When you're ready, pump the foot up on your inhale. Soften it down on the exhale. Gaze at one spot. Slow, controlled breath means slow, controlled movement. Last one. Now, right leg extends back. Pressure the ball of the foot as well. When you're ready, contract the core, roll and round the back. Cat stretch. Extend the vertebrae on the inhale, all the way through the crown of the head. Exhale, curl in, nose to knee. This time, swing that right foot through for the half lunge. Again, blocks can come under your hands. Inhale, we'll back the hips up. And the exhale will sink the hips back down. Do this for a few rounds, just simple, easeful movements. And then if you want to amp it up, you can go to half splits. Anchor that front foot, back shin, back ankle. Inhale, build it up. Exhale, wing the arms, hang back. Inhale, erect the spine, fingertips point up. Open the gates of the heart as you breathe out. Release the hands, curl the back toes under. Ready for that little spanda here. Now, if you want to straighten out the leg on the inhale, you can lunge the knee on the exhale. Rocking back and forth. This is too much and not gentle enough for you today. Just go back to what we were doing previously. Lower the back knee. Bring the right knee back to table. And we're going to take the right leg to the side, planting the foot for stargazer. So when you're ready, root down through the left limbs, and then your right palm will open and fan up towards the heavens. Exhale. Today, we're going to thread the right arm under the left, dipping down towards the right ear, but not to touch. This time, open back to stargazer. And as you're gazing up, set your drishti, and I want you to be in the question. Which one or more of these yamas is something you could work with this week? Or maybe even just today? Being more kind and compassionate, lining up with more integrity, creating some purification through moderation, being wise with your time, energy, and choices, and practicing detachment, letting go. How can you use one of these principles to level up? Exhale, lower the right hand down, bring the right knee down to join. Extend your left leg, plant the foot. When you're ready, stargazer on the inhale. Follow your hand on the exhale. Continue. This time, inhale, hold. What are we aiming for when we practice and apply this philosophy? Our aim is always moksha, liberation, freedom. And applying these principles, we can free ourselves up from inducing, creating, or feeling and experiencing suffering. Exhale, lower the left hand and left knee. Walk your hands a baby step beyond your shoulders, curl your toes under, launch into Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your right leg up. As you exhale, bring that foot down and just tap it on the outside of where that left foot is. Inhale, sail the right leg up. Exhale again, tap it lightly to the floor. Again, inhale up. Exhale down. Bring the right foot back where you started. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, same thing. Left foot will step to the outside of that right foot. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, take it down lightly. One more. Now bring the left foot over, sink back down to the knees, roll down to your belly. When you roll down to the belly, stack on Sphinx arms. Elbows crawl up underneath the head of the shoulder bones, legs shimmy back, buttocks gets firm, belly retracts. Just hold and breathe through this one. We're building up for a little bit of a more dramatic back bend with up dog. So when you're ready, come down to the brow, slide your hands farther back than where it would be for cobra, more towards the base of your ribs. And then inhale, come up to straight arms. The pelvis is off the floor. And as we exhale, we rock back to extended child's pose. This is our new flow. Into up dog, out to child's. Continue. Couple more. This time, remain in child's pose. Soften your elbows to the floor. Let your hands kind of naturally cup and penetrate the third eye. And then affirming as you hold, I now withdraw from all outer involvements into my own inner haven of peace. And in that inner haven of peace, I can do the inner work. I can drop in, I can get real, and I can yoga and level up. I can do that through applying this yogic philosophy. Inhale, stretch the arms out, elbows lift away from the mat. Rock up hands and knees. Exhale to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Our new flow is going to be inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Continue. Now you can always come to tabletop if plank is too strenuous for you today. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Hold your Uttanasana. Have a slight bend in your knees. Loosen out your neck. I'm going to place the left arm lightly behind the back. And as we inhale, reach the right arm out, come halfway up. Exhale, descend. Again. Exhale, release. And if you want to make sure you're utilizing core support, your right hand can transfer to the belly. Left arm can stay behind the back. Both arms down. Switching that up, right hand behind the back. Left arm lifting you halfway. Continue. Hand can also come to the belly, although it may get in the way when you try to fold. Last one. Both arms release, head bows down. Nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back from my personal ascension, from a deep awakening, from my spiritual involvement. May we all resolve to evolve. When you're ready, walk the hands down the mat so you can lower down to your knees. We're going to sit back on the floor, bring the legs out in front. Arms are going to fly up. Active Dandasana. Thighs will plant down. Toes will spread wide. Exhale. Don't feel like you have to go very far, okay? Inhale up to the top. Exhale down. If it helps to bring the hands all the way to the floor, totally fine. If you can grab the feet, doesn't make it better. It just shows you're more open in that part of your body. And it may open with this repetition So feel free if you find that opening to go deeper. Now let's pause here. Dwell in this space for a moment and check in with your breath. If you're being honest with yourself, you'll notice if you're at your edge where you're feeling great sensation, but also where you can comfortably and efficiently breathe. If you can openly breathe, then you're probably not going beyond your edge, which means you're less apt to get injured, which means you're also honoring ahimsa, which also means that you're not trying to steal someone else's thunder or to match what they are doing. Your ego hasn't gotten in the way. Therefore, you are choosing wisely how to spend your time and energy and motion here in this moment. And forward folds are contributing and assisting us in the process of releasing and letting go. If you find these principles easy to manage on the mat, then take it off the mat. It's a little bit more complex, a little bit more complicated to stay in line with these principles at all times when we're out in the world and doing our thing. But that is the goal, which is why we're getting this prescription, so to speak. A prescription for a more meaningful and a more enriched life. All right, inhale will come up. All right, we're going to scoot forward, the knees bent, and we're going to roll down to the vertebrae. Okay, this is going to be simple movement. The inhale, we're taking the arms overhead. And on the exhale, we're hugging the right knee in. Inhale, arms overhead, right leg's going to shoot forward this time. Now, if that's too much for your low back, you can always just rebend the knee. Okay, so you can do it either way, really. I truly feel like all yoga is therapeutic. I think they're therapeutic in different ways. But this style that we're doing today could be very therapeutic for, arthritis, because motion can be our lotion. But it can also be therapeutic if, we're dealing with a lot of anxiety and stress. It can also be therapeutic if we're recovering, hold that right knee in, if we're recovering from, something traumatic or something like surgery. Firm mentally. Reduce my scattered forces to rise up and away into the sky. Reducing and releasing the scattered forces that keep us from aligning to our higher self. All right, let's release. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, pull the left knee in. Inhale, the foot can flatten to the floor, or you can stretch it out in front of you. Exhale, it comes back in. Now with repetition. This time, hug and hold. All right, from here, we're going to stack the right ankle over the left knee. I'm going to challenge you here. You may not find it a challenge, but some of you will. So the right ankle is going to stack over the left thigh bone. Your arms are going to solidify down to the floor, meaning roll the deltoids towards the floor, press the palms lightly into the floor, as well as that left foot to tuck and lift up on the inhale and to roll back down on the exhale. Continue, inhale, up, exhale, down. Last one, inhale up. Exhale down, and then pick up that left foot, lace your hands behind your left thigh, holding eye of the needle pose. Inhale, point the left toes and lift. And exhale, bend the knee and let it descend. 2 more. When that foot flops back down, squeeze it in a little bit extra. And then release. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh bone. Arms solidify down beside you. Press through the right foot and inhale, lift. And then exhale down. A few more. Try not to rush it. Last one. Once the sacrum's down, eye of the needle. This feels really good today. Inhale, right foot lifts. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, fly the right foot up. Exhale, send it down. Last one. And exhale, give that extra squeeze. And release. We're going to take the left leg forward, keeping the right knee bent. Okay, this is important. Push through the right foot and slightly shift your hips a few inches over to the left. So you're like not on the side of the hip, but you're moving more towards the piriformis and the buttocks. Pick up that right knee, take a hold of it with your left hand. The right arm can reach out shoulder height. All right. Exhale, cross the knee over into the twist. Just got a nice pop. And then inhale, unroll, but not all the way, right where you started. Good. And then exhale, spin it back across. And continue. Now hold the twist for 3 breaths. Roll, take the right foot down, shimmy the hips back to neutral. Now slide your left foot in, right leg out, press through the left foot, shimmy the hips slightly over. All right, left arm to the side, right hand to the left knee. Exhale, cross it over. Inhale, back it up. Exhale, twist off. Continue. Now hold and breathe. Exhale, unwind. Sink the foot down. Come back in. And take Ananda Balasana, the happy, blissful baby pose. Knees flare wide open. You're grabbing. Now, some people can't grab the feet. So if that applies to you, maybe take a hold of your pants, your shins, calves. Some people hold the backside of the knees. Breathing in. Breathing out through the nose. And then if you want to hold Supta Baddha Konasana for relaxation, you can take the blocks up underneath your knees. Hands can rest on the belly or hips, or you can fan them out to the sides. If you'd rather be in corpse position, the legs can slide out. Hands can be on or off the body. And as you're taking rest, the breath doesn't have to be as controlled. So you can minimize the control over the breath so it's flowing in a more organic manner. Just noticing if this practice, this moving, breathing meditation, notice if it's brought you a little bit more focus and clarity to your mind. Notice if you feel more calm and peaceful in your body. Trying to fall into that gap between any thoughts, feelings, or sensations that want to bubble up to the surface. Reminding yourself to drop in, to get real, to yoga and level up. If you need more time for relaxation, feel free to pause the video. You're ready to awaken deep in the flow of your breath. Begin to create little movements in your hands and feet. Eventually drawing the knees to the chest, rocking side to side. And rolling over to your favorite. Coming up to take a seat. Jnana yoga is when we study the scriptures, the text, the philosophy, and apply it. Hatha yoga is when we practice the asanas to strengthen and open and create more flexibility for the body. Karma yoga is when we create acts of service, giving to others. Bhakti yoga is that of devotion, being heart-centered, which can involve some chanting. And then we have the Raja Yoga, which incorporates meditation. The best medicine for the mind. I want you to meditate for a moment in silence, and I'm going to bring us out of our silence with the Gyantra mantra, an ancient mantra that means, may we meditate upon the one who created us and the universe. May he, she lighten our intellect. Om Bhuvaswa Om Tat Savitor Varaniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om. Om Bhuvaswa Om Tat Savitor Varaniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om. Continue to meditate. It's the best thing we can do for ourselves and the world right now. I am uploading meditations on this Moonbeam Yoga meditation channel, but I also have a separate channel called Moonbeam Meditation, and the symbol looks like the moon with a blue lotus. My 4th album came out today called Breathe. There's 4 albums out right now. It's up on YouTube, it's up on Spotify, it's up on Pandora, Amazon Music, and you can purchase through Apple Music. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this online platform, and thank you for your continued support as I teach and reach out to others to show them the way of yoga and meditation. Namaste.